What's this? A British romantic comedy from the late 1990s? Ew! We film critiquers on the internet detest romantic comedies. Apparently, there's no way I'm reviewing this. But since I have nothing better to do, I might as well watch it and record myself complaining about it. This film starts by breaking one of the 10 Commandments, reminding viewers that they could be watching Cool Runnings instead. This is Tony, a sports therapist who is testing out his new invention that will be a breakthrough in the field of athletics.
Now!
Screaming makes you run faster. Yep. Or does it?
That's my worst time ever. You're fired.
Gold medal winning Olympic athlete Linford Christie, everyone. I don't give a damn about sports, so consequently I have nothing else to add. If you're going to use the title of a song for your film, don't include the actual song unless the film is directly connected to it. Otherwise, it just seems as if you could not be bothered to think up anything better. Our main character is Suzanne, a mother with 2 young children who is still grieving over the death of her beloved husband. Ooh, this film's going to be a riot!
So don't go breaking my...
Suzanne phones her dentist. Immediately. You only call for a dentist appointment if 1. It causes extreme pain, or 2. The tooth falls out. Clearly, the writer of this film wanted to show that British people do take care of their teeth. Frank the dentist is played by acclaimed actor Charles Dance. Well, it's either him or the man who played the vicar in Steptoe and Son. Suzanne has invited a few friends to her house for dinner, including Frank. Again, unrealistic behaviour. Not because she phoned someone she knew would be visiting her later, but because she is friends with her dentist. Well, let's check out the other scroungers. Ooh, Jane Leaves, fresh off the set of Frasier. And it looks like she brought Matt Groening with her.
Say goodnight to everyone.
But Mum, it's only 7:30.
Is he doing any better at school?
Not really.
How dare you ask that question? Get out, slutty bitch! Seriously, why was everyone so pissed off with that? Tony returns home to his jukebox that apparently lights up his life more than his girlfriend.
How'd it go?
You don't want to know.
Okay. Anyone regularly practicing any form of sport is...
He fired me.
Tony, your system works. You just haven't found anybody yet that it works on.
If it hasn't worked on anyone, then how do you know it works?
Like
Shut up.
I will dunk your head in a bucket of liquid nitrogen.
Meanwhile,
Suzanne's friends are suggesting she starts dating again. But all this does, besides give Jane Leaves the horn, is remind her of her departed other half.
Oh, come on, you know what a great chef he was. Hey, do you remember that time we went to Sir Astro's and the chef came out and asked Barney to cook the dinner?
This calls for a distraction. You're such an unlikable cow, I just couldn't control myself. But Suzanne foils their little scheme by selecting one of her husband's favourite towels, giving her the excuse to go blether about him some more. Told you this would be a riot.
Barney's bloody dead.
You are all horrible people. Suzanne has taken over her husband's florist business. Aha! She's the killer. Case closed. And is delivering a plant to the office of a friend. And who should be there but the only American in town?
You want to go into nice Mr. Tishman's office, don't you? Yes. Well, you can't. I'm sorry. I won't get it anywhere near you.
Mr. Tishman will see you now.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
Ah, love at first poorly written shenanigans. And as if this woman's life wasn't in enough torment, her son Ben doesn't just lose a school sports race, he finishes last by a mile. If this film ends with that boy finishing a race in third, second, or first place, I will be very unhappy.
Well done. I got a dentist appointment.
I heard him trying to stay behind for some nookie.
What's nookie?
It's like coffee with lots of milk.
When we get home, can I have some nookie?
You're gonna need to get a little older for that one.
At the dentist, it seems a filling isn't the only thing Frank is aiming to insert, as he insists Suzanne accompany him to a Beach Boy concert.
I don't like the Beach Boys.
What a strange woman.
Seemingly unperturbed by the rejection, Frank gives Suzanne an anesthetic by hypnotizing her using a small crystal on a stick. And yes, though uncommon, this is a thing you may find yourself getting offered at the dentist if you have a fear of needles, and of course if your dentist is a trained hypnotist.
I'm totally relaxed, but you can hear and understand everything I'm saying. Judith, dip out and check next week's diary, will you? There's a love.
My creepy boss, who has the woman he is in love with in a very suggestible mental state, has asked me to leave the room. Nothing suspicious about that.
How absolutely wonderful the Beach Boys are. You're crazy about them. You've got all their arms.
This is illegal, you know.
But, oh no, it turns out the concert is for the Bitch Boys, not the Beach Boys. But Suzanne is still really enjoying it because she has been programmed to. Ha ha ha, ha ha. Are we to take it that none of you middle-class twats got suspicious by the large amounts of punk stereotypes surrounding you?
I want my money back! You didn't pay! Well, I want it back anyway!
And who should Suzanne literally fall into the arms of but Tony and his lady friend Diane?
Look, we're all waiting for you. Come on!
Bye!
It's good, Diane.
Thank you, Rex.
Mr. Big Business wants Diane to leave Tony and become a model, a premise for which she needs very little persuasion. Before you congratulate this man for not being ageist or weightist about the woman modelling his company's sportswear, he's only doing so because he wants a piece of Diane's shoulders. Back at the plot, Frank tries insisting once again that Suzanne go on a date with him.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I tried.
Do you need to put me under again?
Ladies and gentlemen, the most trusting woman ever. Once she is hypnotized, Frank tells Suzanne that this afternoon a man will phone her, ask if he can come over, and she will fall in love with him. Of course, he doesn't just say, "You will now fall in love with me, Frank," because if he did, the film would be over and be a rom whore. Whore rom.
Sure. Love to see you.
While Ben shows off his skills of losing at other sports besides running, Suzanne gets a phone call from Tony as he found her wallet at the concert. Now get ready to laugh, viewers, because here come the farcical misunderstandings.
Thinking the man he saw her with was her husband, therefore surprised to learn he is dead.
Shocked at how content she seems that her husband has died, not knowing he has been dead for years.
Relief that the man he thought was her husband isn't dead, which accidentally comes across as unsympathetic.
We thought that Douglas had tickets for the Beach Boys, and Diane, she likes to see them whenever they come over.
What did you say?
I said my friend Diane likes to see them whenever they come over.
Sure, love to see you.
Excuse me?
So, of course, Suzanne snaps into a trance and insists Tony comes for dinner. Straight after that, she gets a phone call from... what the heck?
Sure, love to see you.
I'll play with one hand behind my back.
That's crazy. How can you play basketball with one hand?
Oh, come on, kid. One-handed basketball isn't that difficult. Yes, I know this isn't a basketball. What am I doing? After he enters their property through the back, Suzanne eagerly welcomes Tony.
It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Wow, you are looking great. I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
It's funny because she is technically saying that against her free will.
I'm sorry, I seem to have forgotten your name.
Tony Dorfman.
What a nice name.
Well, thank my parents.
I don't think I know them.
Okay, that one was actually quite funny. Frank soon arrives to make the situation more awkward.
Oh, God.
What?
I almost forgot why I came.
Yes?
I'm worried about your filling.
Hi, Natalie. That's a pretty name.
Is it?
I like it.
I hate it. Good night.
You know how some films like Uncle Buck and Mrs. Doubtfire had young children who would add adorable, well-performed humour to a scene? While Tony intrigues Ben by mentioning he is a sports trainer, Frank awakens Suzanne from the trance, which gets them both ushered out. Because apparently simply instructing her to get rid of the yank was the dumber option. Ben's losing streak is really starting to anger his PE teacher.
I don't know why you want to play this game, Brody. You're no good at it.
Nicer.
Go and get changed.
Telling troubled teens how useless they are is the highlight of my week. If you suck at sports, 'cause your daddy's dead, who you gonna call? Pink Shorts Man! Tony lives up to his job as a sports therapist by having Ben play basketball with an imaginary ball.
If you were thinking that this ball will never go in, it won't. Hi, Millie.
My name's Natalie.
Yeah, but you said you didn't like your name, so I thought I'd try Millie.
Okay, cool.
Who would have thought a 5-year-old couldn't act? Since Tony is over, he might as well ask out Ben's mum.
I have a small yacht over here, and I'm thinking about sailing her tomorrow.
Okay, what about your girlfriend? Doesn't she like sailing?
She's not my girlfriend.
Okay.
Pick you up at 10.
I mean, I live with her, and we've slept together many times, but we're not dating.
When can I see you again?
Just not really very interested in starting a relationship.
But when the timing's right, you have to make me a promise that I will be the first to know.
Okay.
The forceful approach, eh? Be careful though, viewers. This only works if your intended is secretly in love with you or desperate. Speaking of desperate...
This is all about you and Suzanne, isn't it?
What?
Well, you've been sending her flowers and asking her out, you know.
Suzanne needs somebody to care for her. Ben and Natalie need a father.
What not so much about quick? I can't believe that. I've done a week's school run for this.
Look.
I've been to Valdezet.
You dirty old man.
Later, Frank has hypnotized Suzanne once again, when suddenly the off-screen radio at the dentist starts playing too loud, forcing Frank and his assistant out the room to deal with it, allowing the radio announcer to plant instructions in Suzanne's brain. How bloody contrived. One more mesmerizing session, and that night, Suzanne agrees to go out for dinner with Frank. And of all the restaurants in the city, it happens to be the one which Tony and Diane are dining at.
There's something I really want.
Let me speak. This is very tough.
Well, send it back.
What? This is rare.
Well, good friendships are.
Ha
Fortunately, Suzanne notices Tony, triggering her subconscious impulses.
I got it.
Apparently, when you're in a trance, you see in squashed vision.
Everybody's got it.
Please let go of his hand.
Woohoo! Pussy roll!
Call me.
You alright? You're shaking.
Did you not see her get up and walk off? They don't cut back to Frank during that bit, so I guess he just kept talking to an empty chair.
Will you take me home?
So Frank drives her home. Suzanne denies him once again. She fails to realise she left her kids home alone, and then Tony turns up.
Hi.
I really don't know what to say.
Kiram Kahani Kawalabitas. It's an old Tibetan expression.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I don't speak Tibetan. It's what you say when you don't know what to say.
Well, obviously, the English translation is... And since Diane is now out of the picture, literally, they lick each other's tonsils and have a montage doing all the boring things new lovers do. Which is then followed by another montage of all the characters playing cricket.
Oh, good stuff! Just like baseball? And I love the way
I guess we'll have to take your word for it, since they don't actually show the damn thing. And come on, this is a comedy, right? Missed opportunity not having the ball smash Frank in the bollocks. Knowing that Suzanne is only in love with Tony, thanks to his brand of anesthetics, Frank tells Douglas what he has been up to. What a pillock.
I need your help. You're the only person I could trust to tell.
I want my money back!
This conversation is strictly between you and me, right?
Didn't hear a thing.
This conversation is strictly between you and me.
Didn't hear a thing.
This conversation is strictly between you and me.
No, I won't tell a soul. Max, you are never going to believe this.
What was it?
Frank has been hypnotising Suzanne.
Soon everyone in the group knows, besides Jane Leaves. Suzanne is in fact aware that she has been behaving rather strangely recently. Yes, she considers falling in love with an attractive, kind-hearted man strange. Barney must have been an ugly jerk. So, get this, Jane Leaves recommends she goes to see a psychiatrist. Oh, does this mean the psychiatrist is going to be played by Kelsey Grammer?
No. Of course you're not going crazy, no, of this we can be sure. Possibly.
This scene exists so the writer could throw in every "what if your psychiatrist was crazy" joke. It's definitely amusing, but completely out of place.
Do you ever use computers?
Yes.
Yes, well, the human mind, you know, is remarkably like a computer. Now, where was I?
The computer saying file...
No, you don't understand. I know exactly where I was and exactly where I was.
Turn it down, Dr. Strangelove.
Someone has hypnotized you.
That's crazy.
You mean when I willingly let a man hypnotize me, he hypnotized me?
I have to write this down, because otherwise I simply forget it.
That's all right.
That's all right. I have to pick up the dry cleaning.
Dr. Fiedler, what can I do?
Do you like apricots?
Well, not particularly.
No, here, have one. I couldn't pass the markets this morning without resisting
No,
them.
thank you.
Mercifully, Suzanne soon leaves. Unfortunately, she goes before the quack can inform her that you can't fall in love with someone through hypnosis. Confused and bitter, she confronts Tony and... Oh, okay, first we have to get back to the sports storyline.
I didn't play him because I wanted the school to win.
Why?
Why? Because that's what sport's all about, winning.
I plan to melt down all the trophies we'll win and build a giant gold trophy! Tony then tells Suzanne that he has been given a work offer back in America, and much to his surprise, she says he should accept it.
It was a mistake.
A mistake? How can it be a mistake for two people to be together and be happy?
But Suzanne thinks her love for Tony is fabricated and leaves him. Suzanne, Ben isn't in the van yet. Suzanne? Never mind, the next scene is at the school again. Mr. Redskin is looking for 3 students to run 1,500 metres on sports day.
Anyone else?
Oh, naff off.
Well, don't shut me up. I need to talk to you about Ben. He's entered the inter-schools 1,500-meter race.
And who has to pick up the pieces when he comes last?
He will come last. How can we expect him to believe he can do it if we don't believe it?
Bollocks.
I love you more than anything.
Stop it.
Huh, you can't even slam a door properly. Oh, shut up, you schizo. Sad montage of a broken up couple doing boring things on their own. Suzanne shows Ben how trusting she is of him by allowing the boy to briefly drive their van.
Change gear. You did great.
Oh, how illegal! Next, Suzanne finally gets around to confronting Frank.
I went to see a psychiatrist the other day.
Psychiatrist, you mad? Sorry.
Yes, you roll your eyes at that terrible joke, sir. Break his crystal swinging hand, Suzanne.
My strong feelings for you.
For me?
He said that we should go away together for a few days.
I'm very fond of Nats, but I was hoping that you'd want to spend a little time alone with me.
Can't leave her just at the moment.
Unlike Ben, I'm happy to leave him home alone. I let him drive the car the other day.
Are you telling me that you could only sleep with me if we were married?
I guess so.
Marry me, Suze.
I will.
Will what?
Marry you.
It's time for the final montage of a couple buying expensive stuff for a wedding, and it keeps going and going and going and going. Huh? Then Suzanne and Jane Leaves are in a classroom at night. I don't know...
Vagina.
You know, there's no need to call me names. Oh.
Why, yes, the only reason someone had to draw the inner workings of a vagina were for that one fail of a joke. Wonderful.
Promise you won't tell.
What?
Promise.
My lips are sealed.
I'm not marrying Frank at all.
No.
I mean, did you really think that I would marry Frank?
Suzanne, he's behind you.
Oh, Jules, the whole thing's behind me.
Well, you're pleased with yourself.
Yes, I am pleased with myself because you've behaved
all I wanted to do...
I'm really sorry. Friend?
Give us a hug, please.
Oh, so they're all friends again. All's well that ends well. No. For God's sake, woman, this man could have jiggled your jugs while you were in a trance. Sue the bastard. It's what Barney would have wanted. Meanwhile, Tony, who has been training Ben, tells him it is time he went back to the USA, which of course shatters the boy's confidence.
You have to run, it's important.
Yeah, I can see how important it is to you. You won't even be there.
You little shit.
Yay, sports day, or as I used to call it, sit outside and watch people run around in large circles. Day. Don't be depressed, Tony. You're lucky to find an empty seat on the underground.
What happened to you? Sorry, I had a prior engagement.
Yeah, we've had.
Oh, leave him alone.
Leave him alone?
Yeah, leave him alone.
Right, boys, you can do this. Except you, Ben. You go to hell and you die.
To your marks. Set.
And they're off. And apparently so is Tony. he just exchanged his clothes and suitcase for sportswear at a flower shop?
It's still got ages to go yet.
Especially if they keep running in slow motion like that.
Before I met Rich, there was another man in my life.
Through a short but very nonsensical when you stop to think about it story, Jane Leaves tells Suzanne you can't be hypnotized into loving someone, just as Tony sprints to the track. 1,500 meters equals a 10-minute race, so no, there is no way Tony could have got there in time.
Shut up.
And since this is the 90s, it of course ends with a freeze frame. So that was Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and for a romantic comedy, it failed to make me laugh, and I only got an erection twice. But seriously though, folks, this film is bland with a capital crap. There are a couple of amusing jokes, mixed in with dozens of atrocious ones. The dialogue is so cliché and poor that all of Suzanne's friends just seem so insensitive considering her husband has only been dead a year. And the whole, she was really in love with Tony because you can't hypnotize someone to love another, is full of holes, because why then was Suzanne drooling over Frank when he visited, and why was she so keen at the Bitch Boys concert? Now I could humorously end this by trying to hypnotize a female, but this film has made me so depressed about the lack of exercise and love in my life that I'm just going to go eat some Milky Bar yogurts. Cheerio. Hi, I'm Jeffrey with the moustache. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. How bad is it? Well, it doesn't even have its own Wikipedia article, which technically means it doesn't even exist. Review over.